Welcome to the Ferris State University Admitted Student Webcast. I want to first congratulate you on your acceptance to Ferris State University for the fall semester of 2014. We're so happy to hear that you're wanting to begin your education, begin your journey to your future with us here at Ferris. We want to thank you also for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today to learn a little bit more about our departments, as well as a little bit about what you should be doing next and preparation to starting your freshman year here at Ferris State University. We'll start by introducing ourselves, and then we can go into the event. My name is Jeff Stewart. I'm an admissions recruiter here at Ferris and also work with NCAA eligibility. But more importantly, I'm actually an alumni of the university, and so I have a lot of passion and experience both as a student as well as an employee here, and I'm excited to be at this event with you guys tonight.
Hi, I'm Carla Erlewine with the Financial Aid Office. I'm a financial advisor. I've been there for 21 years, so I bring a wealth of experience to this evening's conversation. I also am a Ferris alumni, so that's kind of exciting to have us all here that we're representing what the future is. So, thanks.
I'm Noah Moss, a current senior here at Ferris State University and intern at the CLACS office, and I'll be telling you about how to become more involved on campus.
Hello everyone, my name is Byron Terrell Williams. I'm here representing the Office of Housing and Residence Life. I am a hall director for the Honors Halls Peterborough Henderson, but I am also a semi-recent graduate slash alumni, and I have a plethora of experience in different organizations and student leadership. So if you have any questions, I'm excited to answer them.
All right. So tonight's event will actually consist of us presenting about our departments, and as I mentioned, talking about what's next, or what you can do to prepare, or what you have to look forward to as a current student or a student here at Ferris State University. We'll start by going through all of our departments, so I'll be talking about admissions and going through the enrollment process. Carla will then go over the financial aid process and what you have to expect and what you can do to get started in that whole process and what you should be watching out for. Noah will be talking about the Center for Leadership Activities and Career Services and all of the exciting things that take place for our students and the different opportunities that you have as a current student of Ferris State University. And then Byron will be talking about our housing and residence life and all of the opportunities and the perks of living on campus and what's included in that whole aspect of living on campus. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. And again, I just want to congratulate you on getting accepted into Ferris and becoming a Bulldog. It's a very exciting time here on our campus to have students starting to get admitted and starting to plan their journey here at Ferris and starting to go through that whole process. So we're excited. We're hoping that you are excited as well. In fact, we're so excited that I took the opportunity to see how many days we have until the first day of classes. And so something you can mark onto your calendar is on Monday, August 25th will be your first day of your fall semester, the first day of the rest of your life, if you want to look at it in that way. So if you want to start counting down, it starts at 266, and then can't wait to see you on when we hit 1. But a lot of students, as we're moving through from the time that you're admitted and over these next 266 days, starting to kind of get nervous. And am I doing everything? Do I have all the proper documentation? Am I meeting all the deadlines? Is everything happening the way that it should be? And we recognize that. We want to be very helpful in that whole process. All of our departments really are. But what we've done at admissions to kind of really help you out with that is we've developed a page called the Newly Accepted Student page. You can access this, and I'd really recommend you to do so if you haven't done already, to go out to this Newly Accepted Student page and kind of get familiar with it and start clicking around. To access it, though, you go to our Ferris homepage, so www.ferris.edu. From there, you'll select the admissions link at the top left. I circled it up there for you to easily see. Once you select that, that'll take you to our admissions page, which does have a lot of information as well. It has visit links, so you can come and visit us on campus. It also has a link to financial aid, so Carla, referring to that later, you'll be able to find that from there. But from that page, you'll actually select the Newly Accepted Students page. And that's going to bring you to that page that I was talking about, that really, as you scroll through, it's going to be taking you through different processes, different things that you need to be focusing on. And these areas could be things such as financial aid, housing, when you should be signing up for housing, what you should be doing with documentation for the Berkham Health Center, when you should sign up for orientation and how you sign up for orientation. So I really encourage you to start really clicking through there, going through that whole process. And if you have any questions at all throughout that whole time, refer to that page, because a lot of times it's going to take you to that next link or take you to the actual website that you need to go to complete that process or to look further into that process. An important thing that it does bring up, and one of the first things you should do as an admitted student, is actually log into your MyFSU portal. Now, this portal is something that actually you'll use as a student prior to your initial enrollment. So before you even start taking classes here on campus, you're going to start going in there. But more importantly, when you actually are a student here on our campus, you're going to be utilizing that MyFSU portal typically on a daily basis. This is where you're going to access all your financial aid information. So any time you need to accept an award offer or do different things with financial aid or pay your bill or check on the status of different things, you can do that right through your MyFSU portal. And you'll also register for your classes within there. You will do a lot of your class assignments or submit some of your class assignments in there. So you'll want to really get acclimated in there. So I really encourage you to go through those steps as outlined in that newly accepted students page and start logging into your MyFSU portal so you can kind of stay on top of that and get, as I mentioned, familiarized with it. Another important thing within there is actually, now that you are a Ferris State University Bulldog, you do actually have a Ferris State University email address. And this is where the university and other departments across campus, and sometimes even your program advisor or your professors will email you through your Ferris email address. So I really encourage you to start utilizing that. When you log into your MyFSU initially, they're going to give you your login information, or a shortened version. Usually it's going to be your last name with a number or some sort of smaller version of your name. That's actually going to be your email address. So you take that and put in @ferris.edu, and that is going to be your email address that you can actually use now as a current or as a Ferris State student before you even start taking classes here. So really start getting acclimated with those areas and get familiar with your MyFSU portal as you're going through. If you run into any hiccups when signing up for your MyFSU portal, or if you forget your password, or if anything happens before you start taking classes, or even after you start taking classes, I wanted to include the Technology Assistance Center information. They're actually here for all of your technology needs. So if you have issues with your computer getting it logged onto the internet, if you have issues logging into your MyFSU portal, or issues logging into different areas on the website, feel free to contact them. Their number is located right there on the screen, so feel free to keep that handy. And they also have a link on our homepage with little helpful tips and tricks to navigate through different issues that students typically have when coming onto campus. Another thing that the newly accepted students page will have you do is to sign up for the summer orientation. Now the sign up doesn't start until February. You'll receive a notification email, and also a postcard will be sent to you regarding this summer orientation sign up and when you can and where you should be signing up. There will be a link right on our main homepage. So the ferris.edu homepage will have a link that says sign up for orientation. So you'll be able to find it in there. There are various sessions in June and July. And it's actually going to be determined, or the session or the date that you select will be based on your degree or the program that you're going into. And this is really a great thing that this happens, that we break it up by your program or by your specific degree, because the fact that you'll be actually meeting with your academic advisors and staff members from that department. So those individuals that will be kind of guiding you through that whole process of obtaining your degree, or guiding you through that navigating the class registration and all of those different things, will be there with you to ensure that you're signing up for the correct classes and that you're really actually in the right field or the right degree for you to obtain that career when you leave here. So as I mentioned, you'll be signing up for classes at orientation, so that's another exciting thing that takes place. You'll actually find out what classes you'll be taking and what you will be starting on August 25th. And you can get an idea of what books you're going to need after you get that schedule, so you can kind of start planning a little bit in advance, well in advance, before you actually start taking classes here. At orientation too, you'll be able to meet with a lot of different departments. So Carla will talk about financial aid, but you'll be able to really kind of finalize and complete everything with financial aid, make sure that you have everything taken care of and that everything is complete and ready for you to start paying for your tuition. And you'll find out if you will need to complete any more documentation or complete any more processes from there. And then also you'll be able to finalize housing and dining options if you haven't done so already, and really meet a lot of different individuals and see kind of what you can expect when you start taking classes here in the fall. Another great thing about going to orientation is that you're going to meet a lot of admitted students just like you, and students that are going to be in your degree taking those classes. So if you weren't able to find a roommate before, you might be able to match up with someone at that time because you have the similar interests, you met them already, you have a lot of, you're going in the same direction for your field, so you can kind of meet with them or kind of start developing studying groups before you even start taking classes here because you met those individuals at your orientation. So it's a great opportunity for you to really get prepared. It's kind of like that last step, that last opportunity for you to make sure everything is ready for you to go and really make sure that and get you pumped up for the fall semester here at Ferris State. So we have a lot coming up between now and, of course, 266 days from now. So I really encourage you to join us at one of our admitted student open houses. Of course, this is a great opportunity to meet with us, but at these open houses, we'll also be there. Our departments will be present there, as well as some other departments. We have 6 events coming up. They're going to be in February and in March. So I just want to kind of make you aware of them. More information is on our admissions page for you to see the dates, but we have 3 of them that take place here on campus, and then we have 3 that actually take place off campus in Grand Rapids, Auburn Hills, and Saginaw, Michigan, to give you an opportunity to meet with us maybe in your hometown if you didn't want to travel up here and get your questions answered at that time as well. But I also encourage you to really visit our campus. We really want you to come onto campus and check us out if you haven't done so already. We have various different opportunities for you to visit our campus. We have our daily visits that take place Monday through Friday, where you can meet with admissions, get a tour of our campus. You'll be able to see a lot of the offices that we're going to be talking about today, see the different facilities on our campus. And then also we have some dog day visits, which are our Saturday visits. And those are another opportunity for you to see campus, talk with different departments, and really get an idea of Ferris and what we have to offer. So if you haven't done that already, you just maybe got admitted but haven't checked us out yet, I really encourage you to do that. Also throughout this process, I mean, we made that admitted student page, and I again really encourage you to go check that out. But if you ever have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact us. We are here to help you, and we want to make sure that this process for you is as easy as possible, making that transition from high school into college. It can be a lot of times very stressful for our students, and we want to try to stay away from that and make it a seamless process for you so that you feel comfortable and you can really focus on your studies here. So definitely call us at the numbers listed. Send us an email at admissions@ferris.edu. We'd be more than happy to answer your question, or if it doesn't apply to us, we can then forward that email on to another individual or get you connected with that other department to further help you. And then also follow us on Facebook or on Twitter. We're constantly keeping that updated with different deadlines coming up, with different tips about preparing for college, different information about different programs that we have to offer, or different events that are taking place. So definitely keep in the loop by following us in those different areas. Or like I said, if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact us, as we'd be more than happy to assist you through this process. So we'll now move into Carla to talk about financial aid for new students.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, he got you all excited and got you settled in for being an admitted student. So hopefully by the time I'm through talking about financial aid, you'll have a comfort level in how you're going to be able to pay for it. So your first step in this, it would be to file a FAFSA, and that's the free application for federal student aid. It is a document that will determine the amount of financial aid that you will be eligible to receive. Now, again, I said go to www.fafsa.gov. It's really important that you use the .gov. There is another FAFSA.com website out there that is not the legitimate one. So we just want to steer you away from that and be sure that you're using the appropriate website. What you do is you go out to that website and put in all your personal income information, and then the federal government will make a calculation and create what's called an EFC, or expected family contribution. And you will find a financial aid. We all talk about acronyms. We speak in acronyms all the time. FAFSA, EFC. So every now and then you have to stop us and just say, what do you mean? What are you talking about? So that's okay. We're used to it. But again, to file the FAFSA, you want to do it as soon after January 1st as you possibly can. It will be based on information from 2012. So as far as earned income and student income and assets and things like that, it's coming from this past year at the end of it. And the website won't even open up until after January 1st. So, and if your parents are like me, they're probably not really going to file their taxes until April. So you're trying to say, well, information would you put on the FAFSA? If the income is pretty much the same as it was in 2011, go ahead and file the FAFSA based on that previous year's information, that previous year tax information, because the FAFSA asks you all the questions and it'll pull it right from the federal 1040, which is the form that pretty much it comes from. So that's okay to use previous year information. Then when you get the real information, just go back in and update it. That's perfectly okay. We encourage you to file early, partly because there are certain funds from the federal government that are awarded on a first come, first served basis. And it could mean almost $4,000 difference in your award. So we really encourage you to do that as quickly as possible so that you know that you've got it done and you're comfortable with it.
And I want to kind of stop. I don't think I mentioned, if you guys have any questions at all throughout this process, feel free to put those questions out there. We'd be more than happy to answer them, and we'll get to them as quick as we can when you ask that question, and hopefully we can get through all the questions before the end of this event. So just another way for you to ask those questions now so that we can make sure that we're meeting all of your needs and getting everything answered for you. Sorry, Carla.
That's okay. Well, we want you to check on your FAFSA status. So as Jeff talked about a little bit in your MyFSU, you want to go out and see if you filed that FAFSA early in February. We have to wait till we get some software to upload, so that's a little bit why you can't do it in January, but we see it in our system by early February. So at that time, you'll want to go into your MyFSU and log in, and we've got a page showing where the missed requirements are going to be so that you'll know whether you were your FAFSA went through, if it was rejected, or everything was okay. So is everything satisfied? That's what ultimately you're looking for, is to make sure all your requirements on this particular page are satisfied so that we can in the future create an award for you. It's possible that when you file the FAFSA, the government's going to select you for a process called verification. It just means that you didn't do anything wrong, but the government wants to just check what's on the FAFSA with what is on the federal tax forms. So basically they select randomly a third of the students. And at that point in time, then we just have to match up the information again that you put on the FAFSA with what is on the federal taxes. So there's a couple ways to accomplish that. First, you need to complete a 2014-15 verification form. And that is available on our financial aid website. And to get to the financial aid website, as Jeff showed you before, you go to the Ferris homepage, the www.ferris.edu, and then instead of clicking on admissions, there's a couple links down on the upper left-hand corner that says financial aid. That gets you to our homepage. We have a whole bunch of tabs across the top that will open up the different areas that you may want to get into. So one of them is called forms. If you click on that, then there's a drop down of a whole bunch of different links, and one of them is a verification either for dependent student or for independent student. And if you click on that, you'll print the form, and that's the one page that comes from from Ferris or from you to our office. It's not from the federal government. So then to match up the information that was on the tax form there's a process called data retrieval. So when you file the FAFSA, a question will come up and say, do you want to participate in data retrieval? We really encourage you to say yes to that, because what that does is allows the Department of Education to go into the Internal Revenue Service and match up that information. And that way, then you don't have to submit papers or anything like that. If in the event that you're not able to do the data retrieval, then the other option would be to wait until the taxes are filed, and then you'd have to go to IRS and request what's called an IRS transcript. And that just shows the information that your parents did submit to the IRS, and we can use that. No longer are we able to actually take copies of your federal 1040 tax forms. And sometimes we may request some other documents when we're trying to complete the verification process. It's just sometimes things don't match up. If there's something that you put on the FAFSA, we just have to sort it out. But again, it doesn't mean you did anything wrong. We're just trying to match it up, and the government selects randomly students for us to do that. So once that process is complete, then you're good to go. In early March, we try and get the awards out. We want to be sure that you know how much funding you have available coming in your direction. So we set up an awarding philosophy, and we will include the grants, the scholarships, and if you ask that you wanted the work study, we'll try and include that, and federal student loans. And I know a lot of times students will ask about the award, but then they say, well, I don't want loans. Well, the loans will be automatically a part of your award. Now, one thing that does happen in March is a lot of students who are a Michigan Competitive Scholarship recipient had to have met the deadline of March 1st. And so when I said we have a first come, first served basis for certain awards, we do not have a definitive date. We set up our philosophy and we start to award it and see how far the funds will last. So it's not like we have a specific date, excuse me. However, if you are a Michigan Competitive Scholarship recipient, that is March 1st. Now, the other thing that happens, because the state of Michigan doesn't always know whether they're going to be able to fund Michigan Competitive, that award will not be included on your initial award. So if you are a recipient and you've got your FAFSA file by March 1st, we would just update your award like in maybe August or as soon as the state determines their funding for the Michigan Competitive Scholarship. The other thing just to mention that if you were selected or if you received your letter for the Woodbridge and Ferris, the WNF scholarships, they are based on merit, and so you didn't have to file the FAFSA in order to receive one of those, but you got the letter hopefully now. And so in February, we will send you an email that'll ask you to go into our system now to accept it. And we'll send an email to both your Ferris email that Jeff had mentioned and also your personal email, because we want to be sure we connect with you and give you an opportunity to go in there and accept that award. This is a view, and I wanted you to see this. So if you go into your MyFSU and you select academics and services, over on the right-hand side, there's two different sections of financial aid information. And one of them in the top section is accept awards. So in March, once that award is out there, then that's where you would want to go to view what we had offered you. We will also mail you a paper copy, but this is a nice way. We'll send you the email and say, oh, your award's out there, so go out and you can see it. The other section that's even more critical is the one student requirements, because that's the one you want to be checking. Once you filed your FAFSA in early February, then you can start to see that everything is complete. And if you were selected for verification, everything is complete. So that student requirements link is a great one because it takes you right into our system and you get to see everything. So that's the section you're going to concentrate on for financial aid. Well, once you receive that award and everything is in place, then you have to figure out, well, how am I going to pay for all of this? Am I going to have enough money? So financial aid creates a cost of attendance, and that includes not only tuition and room and board, but we include an average cost of books and an average cost of travel. The government says, well, yeah, those students are going to go home a couple times a semester, so we want to be sure that you have the opportunity to have that cost included in your budget. We also include a section for personal expenses. We do realize that there are times you're spending money on things, don't know for sure what they are, but we do allow that in the cost of attendance. So those would be considered indirect costs. Basically your tuition, room, and board are probably going to be the main cost to Ferris. So then how do you figure out what you're going to have to pay out of pocket? Well, you've got your cost of attendance, and maybe that would be, say, $20,000. And you receive maybe $10,000 in financial aid. So you're going to have an out-of-pocket cost potentially of another $10,000. Now, when we create this cost of attendance, financial aid does that based on averages. So it's generic to all undergraduate students. Whereas when you get the bill from the business office, that will be based on real numbers, based on your tuition and the number of credits you're taking and on what your cost for room and board is going to be. So they will bill you for the real costs. So then you've got to look at your cost of attendance and your charges minus your financial aid and what would be potentially your out-of-pocket costs. Well, sometimes you don't have that kind of money just laying around, so there are a couple options to help you cover that. One of them is a Parent Plus loan. That's a loan that parents can take out for your educational expenses, and it's in their name. And then there's also private alternative loans, because not every parent wants to take on the responsibility of having that cost in their own name. So then a private alternative loan is one that would be in your name as a student, and then typically requires a credit-worthy co-signer. So it could be parent, but it could be grandma and grandpa, somebody else that can co-sign for you in that loan. And the private alternative loans are not through Ferris. They are through different banking industries. And so we have on our website, we list the ones that we feel the most comfortable with because they change all the time. And we just want to be sure that from a customer service standpoint, that they're really serving you in the best way. Certainly, if you find another banking industry that would loan you the money, and we'll take money from pretty much any place. So, but these are the ones we work with the most. So, you know, it's great. They're on our website. As I mentioned, if you go to the Ferris homepage, click on financial aid. There's another tab that says loans. And with the drop down, it'll give you several varieties. So you can start to research those now and see if that's, of interest to you, and kind of do your homework to see which ones might be a good fit for you.
Now, you had mentioned about scholarships and the WNF scholarships that are awarded based on merit. Are there other scholarships that students can apply for? And if so, where should they look for those other forms of free money to help support their education?
Great question. On the Ferris homepage, there is a link to scholarships. And so you click on that, that will open up a database that shows you a lot of different options for scholarships. And you can look now and to kind of get a sense of what it looks like. But starting in January, there's going to be a brand new database in which you can apply. It used to be you'd write an essay for a particular scholarship and you'd have to write it again and write it again depending on how many applications you applied for on the scholarships. But now this new database is going to allow you to write one scholarship application, at least essay. You'll have to do the application separately, but the essay, and then it will be attached to the different applications. What is also out on that website, as we continue to update it, would be what we call outside scholarships. Those are the ones that come in from different companies. Target, there's different community scholarships that may be out there, and so they're not through Ferris, but we put the link there so that you can apply for the different ones. And typically scholarships are awarded so that you would get them for next fall. Most times the application time frame is usually between January and maybe March, and you apply for those, and then hopefully in June, that's when they shoot for letting you know, and that would just be added to your financial aid award, so it would be included in that.
So you're saying a student would have to actually apply for them even before they start taking classes here at Ferris?
Absolutely. There is a link for students with that says incoming freshmen. So that's a good question because, again, if you go out there and look on the financial aid website now, you would actually be able to peruse the whole website and see what's available. It will be in transition, I believe, between December 15th and January 15th when the new database opens. But the information, the content will be the same. Good.
Excellent.
We want to be sure that you understand this process, so we definitely want you to email us if you don't understand at finaid@ferris.edu. You can also call us at the 231-591-2110. And we especially want you to like us on Facebook. We're posting new information all the time. It's a great way to kind of keep up with what's going on. Now, one thing I forgot to mention a little bit when I was talking about the cost is the different billing options. As I mentioned, the financial aid creates all these averages of what your cost is going to be, and the billing office is going to give you the real cost. So once you've come up for orientation and signed up for your classes, just about the end of July, the billing office will mail out, they'll send out, it'll be an email, for what your bill is. And at that point, then you have several different options of payment plans. It's pretty new. So it used to be there was just you had to pay 50% in August and 25% in September and 25% in October. But now they've got one where you can pay 25% of the remaining balance in August, September, October, and November. And they've got another one. So typically the way that billing works is you've got your costs for fall, maybe like $10,000 for your room and board and your tuition, minus the financial aid, and whatever the balance is what you're either going to set up to do on a payment plan, or if you've gotten a parent loan or an alternative loan, hopefully that will cover it. And we were asked a question earlier that yes, the billing is done semester by semester. Your financial aid is done semester by semester, so you only have to contend with your fall charges and your costs for fall, and then we rebill in January for spring semester. And yes, we call it spring semester, even though it starts in January and it feels like winter a lot around here, but we call it fall semester and spring semester. So again, we really feel it's important that you contact us if you have any questions. We really want you to have a comfort level before you come up to school that everything is in place. So by all means, as Jeff said about admissions, if you have questions, please contact us.
We did have two questions. I wasn't ignoring them. Carla was on a roll, so I didn't want to stop her with all things financial aid. And they're actually kind of joined questions in a way, talking about the pre-science program where students admitted to general studies because maybe they didn't meet the requirements of their specific program. It could have been because of ACT, your scores maybe for placement purposes, like in a math class or different things for your curriculum, or the GPA was too low. You're not stuck in that program by any means. That's actually kind of like a way to start the university, maybe take that math class or take that entry-level English class that you need to further advance in your degree. typically after that first semester or sometimes that first year, you're going to be actually enrolled into that, or you'll be able to transfer into that actual program. So kind of keep that in mind. Your advisor is going to have more information for you on what steps you're going to be taking, what classes you have to take to get into that program, and they'll definitely assist you along that way to ensure you're getting to your ultimate goal and reaching that career that you're actually coming here for at Ferris. So great questions, and keep them coming. We'll move over to Noah for the Center for Leadership Activities and Career Services.
Thank you so much. As I said earlier, my name is Noah. I'm a senior here at Ferris State University, and I work at the Center for Leadership Activities and Career Services. And we call it CLACS because it's a mouthful. And so we have, as you can see, 3 different centers that we focus around as our purpose, which are the Leadership, Volunteer, and Career Center. And those are what I'm going to be talking to you about today, and how you can stay active on campus and benefit yourself for after college. So the Leadership Center is all about preparing you as a leader and kind of developing all those skills. And so every semester we have something called a Leadership Week. It's a whole week dedicated to workshops and bringing in keynote speakers, doing different activities that allow you to develop your skills. You can bring your friends. They're all events held openly on campus. One new thing we're doing this next spring semester in a couple months, the beginning of February, is going to be a conference retreat for leaders, and we have students signed up to go down to Grand Rapids area and go to a leadership conference where you'll learn different things from the keynote speakers there, have a chance to get off campus and really kind of connect with those different leaders on campus that have been identified that way. And anyone can attend, and it's a great opportunity in that regard. And so in addition to that Leadership Week, we have a great number of things that carry out throughout every day. So you can always come into our office and get leadership training in any regard if you have any questions. Some events we have on a monthly basis are called 5-star events. They're really great branding on campus. These 5-star events are kind of educational in nature. And so what they are is they're these events that draw in very large crowds to our Williams Auditorium, which holds about 2,000 students. And we've had speakers on different ideas of diversity. We've had some speakers come on a great multitude of issues. So it's a great opportunity for all these students to come together. You learn a lot of great ideas and open yourself up to these ideas, and then can network and explore and meet new people from there. In addition to that, we have these student-ran organizations. We call them Registered Student Organizations, or RSOs, and we have over 230 on campus. And they're just a great opportunity to develop your leadership. You can be a president, a vice president, a secretary, a treasurer. You can do all these different things, and they're run by you. So it's a great opportunity for you to develop your skills. And that doesn't mean if you don't want to be, the next president of the United States, you don't have to be a leader of these. You can be an engineer who's concerned about being, a civil engineer and wants to start doing things on campus and seeing if you can make differences on campus with an organization, going on conferences nationwide, those sorts of things. And so and we do have different organizations that kind of represent the Greek life. We have Club Sports, which is over 20 sports on campus, like women's lacrosse, rugby, men's soccer, these sorts of things. Religious groups, multicultural groups who bring in a great number of diverse speakers and typically bring in large crowds. And then we have our professional fraternities and sororities, which kind of help you for the business world or kind of that professional world, and as well as the political and special interest groups. I myself am part of the debate team here at Ferris State University, which is a great opportunity. You get to argue with people for trophies. In addition to that, they pay for my travel. So if we go down to Louisiana one weekend and up to Chicago the next weekend, it's all paid for by the university, and I'm able to win scholarship money as well by competing and doing well and representing Ferris State University. So there's a multitude of options. The debate team is not the only place, but like I said, over 230, and you can start your own organization if you don't feel there's one that fits just for you. In addition to that, we have 2 other organizations on campus that have been around for quite some time and our students are always attracted to. The first is Entertainment Unlimited. That's the campus programming board run by students to bring entertainment to you. So every spring we have the Ferris Fest, which is the largest outdoor concert here in Big Rapids, and it's a great opportunity. We bring in live musicians, and they have a great concert, great time. Several hundred students come out for that, and it's a great opportunity to meet and greet and just be outside and enjoy the springtime and almost summertime. In addition to that, they do other things. This Thursday, in fact, they're putting on an event with Tom DeLuca, and for those of you who don't know who that is, he's a hypnotist, and he's going to be in Williams Auditorium, and he's going to hypnotize some students, and it's going to be a great time full of laughter and amazement for some students. So they do all these activities, and you can join Entertainment Unlimited, and you can have a voice in what they do. So even if you're not part of that organization, you're more than able to give your voice and say what artists or different things you'd like to come to campus. The other organization which is around is student government, and we actually have a former student government president right here, Byron Williams, and so he's served on that. But student government's a great opportunity for any individual to kind of meet where all majors come together. So you have representatives from different organizations that come together and meet at student government and deal with a lot of different issues, such as policy. If you want, skateboards on campus, should they be allowed? If smoking should be banned on campus? These sorts of issues come up, and this is the voice of the student body to talk to administrators, and it's a great opportunity for all of these to be discussed. Additionally, they allow you to do a lot of volunteer work and give back to the community, which has been a big emphasis from employers, and a pull for that to be recruiting new students is to be community minded. And then they also have great events like Pancakes with the President, which is next week for this semester, and you get to have pancakes with the president of the university as well as the president of student government. So it's a great way to connect with the higher ups and really kind of start networking and becoming influential and finding your niche on campus. And away from that, they have a number of events that just are a great opportunity to connect and find other like-minded individuals. And so one of the events that the CLACS office holds every year is called Bulldog Bonanza. It's part of you coming to get acclimated. So within your first 2 weeks of class, typically, we'll have this event, and it has all these student organizations there, and they'll be trying to recruit you and trying to get you to go to different, maybe the mixed martial arts club or a club sport or, maybe a political group on campus. They're all trying to get you. But in addition to that, they have all these offices like we are here, and they want to tell you about what they do. And we also have the community of Big Rapids that comes out and tries to give you free samples and get you to come out to their businesses, which is a great opportunity to just indulge in free stuff and be part of the Big Rapids community. One other thing that our office is really exemplifying this year, and it's a really great opportunity and makes us unique, is we have this thing called a co-curricular transcript. So traditionally, schools give you a transcript once you graduate, and that shows your grades, your grade point average, and what classes you took, and these sorts of things. But this is unique in that it's a co-curricular transcript. So what that means is it shows all of your experiences outside of the classroom. So if you were part of an organization such as the student government, you could record that, and it would be an official document from the university that says that you were part of this. It also shows how many volunteer hours you've logged and what kind of activities you've done. So that gives a really great part attached to your resume or portfolio once you're starting looking for jobs. So it's a great opportunity. And so as we move on, we have the Volunteer Center. And the Volunteer Center is just what that is. And so we have this great program. We have a lot of great programs at Ferris. A few of them are as follows. In Safe Ride, it's a free shuttle bus that goes around on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening nights that allows students who have been at bars to get home safely. And so it goes around to the different facilities and picks up students and brings them home safely. So we want to make sure that Ferris students feel comfortable and safe and don't have to worry about driving for any reason. So that's one service Ferris offers. Additionally, we have TIPS training, or training for intervention procedures. And so what that means is their philosophy is that you're going to be exposed to alcohol here at a Ferris or at a university level in some capacity, and we want to make sure that you're prepared to deal with that. And what that means is it can prepare you to learn about blood alcohol content levels and what it means to be safely drinking and how you can prepare if there is some sort of harm to your friends. So it's a great opportunity to make sure that you're prepared, and it also looks great for people who are looking to enter hospitality, public service such as criminal justice, and in addition to other applicable places such as teaching or higher education. And then a big part of what we are as Ferris State University is giving back to the community. And so we do a lot of charities. And one of them that we've really stuck with through the years is the United Way partnership with fundraising. And the reason that we really like this one is, well, some fundraisers can go to a big corporate that we don't know where that money's being placed, or it shows kind of a percentage of where it's being put. 100% of these proceeds come right back to the Big Rapids, Mecosta, Osceola County area. So it's a great opportunity to see that all your hard work that you fundraise for comes right back to the Big Rapids area, and it gives you a great sense of appreciation. Additionally, part of those United Way fundraisers is a color war. And so if you've ever heard of a color run where you run around, do a 5K and throw paint, it's much better than that because it doesn't involve the 5K. So there's the obstacle course that you get to run through, and while you're hurtling over barrels and underneath fake barbed wire and climbing and jumping and swinging, all of these things, there's color being thrown at you, and it just seems chaotic, but it's a great time. And while this is happening, you're raising money. There have been donations. You can donate yourself, make a contribution. It's a great opportunity to kind of be out there. And this year it was our first time doing it, over 100 students out there, so it was a great turnout. So I look forward to seeing some of you there for that next event in the fall. In addition to that, we have the Gift of Life Partnership, and so we just have information for students looking to be organ donors. We give that information out, allow them to kind of explore that if they're looking to do that in any capacity. And so far at Ferris, we've had over 42,000 hours of community service logged, which is just something we can all be happy and thankful for, and the Big Rapids community thanks us for in its entirety. The Career Center has a number of things that we do, and so the first thing we do that we're almost most proud of is the Career Week. So during Career Week, it's a whole week dedicated to, well, careers, and so we have a career fair, which brings in this past semester over 140 employers. These employers aren't just coming to look at your resume, they're coming here to hire you. What we've had this past semester was a number of people who are getting hired for jobs and internships. So even if you're a first-year freshman and you've got the experience you need for whatever industry you chose, you can get an internship. But it's also never too early to go to events like this because you can always network. So if you drop your resume off one year and you just don't have enough experience yet, that's okay, because they'll remember you, and when you come back, they'll look for that improved experience and be happy to bring you on as an intern or full-time employee. And so before all this happens on Friday, we have the rest of the Career Week information, and we have workshops that help you develop your resume, cover letter, kind of help critique that. Additionally, we have employers that come in and have work sessions that tell you what they want. So actual employers, instead of your professor or your mom and dad, are going to come in and tell you what they want. So it's a great opportunity here as a primary resource and kind of assess what you need to do from there. And then we offer one other thing that I just love. It's a great opportunity. Some people don't feel comfortable interviewing. They get nervous or jittery or sweaty palms. So what we do is we do mock interviews. And mock interviews are just kind of like a setting like this. And maybe I'd be talking to Carla, and she would ask me questions, and she would interview me similar to a real employee interview session, and make me feel more comfortable. So it's a great opportunity. Then they do a kind of a positive critique afterwards and give me feedback so that I can be more prepared for my interview and get the job, because interviewing is where you get the job. And moving on from there, all these assets aren't just for students, they're for alumni too. So if at any time you go and graduate from Ferris and need to come back and look for jobs, all these assets are available to you, and we help career planning assistants and kind of mock out what you can do and how to do it. Additionally, not just once a week, but all the time, the Bulldog Career Link is available, and it's a web-based portal connection that allows you to go online, and you can check your email, but you can also check for different jobs available, and not only on campus, but you can check where they're at for maybe an internship back home, if there's any available where you are, different industries you can categorize it by. So it's a great opportunity to start looking for those jobs. And then we have employer information sessions. So what happens with these is every year we have employers that come to campus, and they just are looking for students to hire because they understand Ferris is a great institute. And so this past semester, for example, we've had John Deere, Mitsubishi Motors, and Caterpillar come recruit students, and they'll come and interview them and give them jobs or internships. So it's a great opportunity, and you just have to be actively seeking those and make sure you're in the know for those.
And to go back to the volunteering and getting involved on campus, why would a student want to get involved, or what are the benefits of getting involved? And I guess from your guys' experience, what has getting involved, or how has getting involved really shaped what you're doing now, or what you're going to be doing when you leave our institution?
Sure. I think being involved on campus does a number of things for you. Not only does it show that you're dedicated to an idea and that you're willing to put forth more effort than anyone else, so that kind of gives you a step up. It also lets you kind of play around and find where you fit out on campus, allows you to develop skills, so you can be part of a group on campus that is focused on it might be a political group, but with political groups, you have to do event planning to bring speakers to campus. So you can get experience doing event planning, you can get experience doing public relation press releases, you can do a number of opportunity things. You can be, a treasurer and keep accounting things, so that can help you if you're an accountant major. It's a great opportunity, and employers are always looking for experience over just education. If you have a day of experience over a 4-year education, it's going to look a lot better than someone who doesn't have any experience at all. Is that the same for you, Byron?
Yeah, definitely. Everything that you said. One of the main things that sticks out for me would definitely be the network that I've been able to build, being involved on campus and really having to work with the university executives and administrators, and actually getting to know them and being able to get reference forms from them and recommendation letters and all of those different things. It really does work to help you in the end when you're job searching, as well as the experience, having that on your resume and having that experience and those skills that the employers are looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a question?
Yes. Let me read, sorry. Are there on-campus jobs? Can you work at Ferris while you're a student here as well? Carla, this might be a question for you, since student employment kind of goes hand in hand with financial aid and work study. So
Sure. No, absolutely. You can work on campus, and sometimes I mentioned in the award packaging, you may receive what's called federal work study, and certain jobs are funded by federal work study. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other jobs available. In fact, there are lots of more non-work study jobs on campus than there are work study jobs. And to a student, it really doesn't make a difference. You're paid the same minimum wage and have the same work restrictions or opportunities. Typically, students work 12 to 15 hours a week, and then they get paid every 2 weeks. So that money actually doesn't apply to your account. It goes directly in your pocket in the form of a paycheck. So we would definitely encourage you to work. Noah said it's a great way to network, to build resources, because you have people that you've kind of worked with and their references for future job opportunities. So through student employment, which is located in the financial aid office, is how you would end up applying for a job. And a lot of times they don't even open up until August 1st. So you've been to orientation, you've had the opportunity to set up your class schedule, and at that point then you could apply for a job. And typically they open the website on usually August 1st before classes start. So that's the chance for you to go out, check out some jobs. You actually can connect with the employer, and then you've got the job before you ever come up to campus.
And the good thing about working on campus too, I was actually a student employee for the 4 years I was at Ferris. It really has a positive academic impact on you, because you kind of, with those that you're working around, whether it be other student employees or be the professionals within the department you're working for, you kind of have like a personal cheer team for you, because if you're stressing because of a test, they can really encourage you and keep you studying, or keep you pushing you to do your best. So it really has a good positive academic impact. But also, if you're like me, I didn't have an opportunity to have a job, or I didn't have a job while I was in high school. So this was actually my starting point in really developing those skills and resources, and starting to really develop that resume. Because prior to Ferris, I didn't have anything to really put on a resume outside of my extracurricular activities. So this gave me the opportunity to really start building that resume, really start getting experience, maybe at an entry-level position. And also, you have a wide variety of different jobs. So you could be working in one of our dining facilities, at one of our residence halls, in the various departments across campus, working rounds. So there are a lot of different opportunities for you to get some experience, maybe in your field or some other areas, and really start to, like I said, develop that resume. Also, because you are a student, you can only work a maximum of 26 hours. So that really kind of will allow you to fit that into your schedule. You don't have to work the 26 hours, of course. That's up with you, or that's to be determined by you and your employer. You can work as little as 5 hours during the week if that's what fits best into your schedule, so you can really focus on your academics, but then also get that extra spending money. So as I really encourage you to look for those opportunities. If you're not going to work on campus, really get involved and volunteer and do different initiatives across campus, or really get involved on campus, because as you had heard from Byron and Noah, you have a lot of gain a lot from that, both professionally as well as personally, as you're going through. So great question. Thank you.
And one other aspect in student organizations to remember is that those can help you prepare you for the real world. So you can have a program like accounting and actually have the accounting association here on campus. So you can join any number of student organizations that can help you directly. There's graphic arts association, there's the chemistry club, there's all these things. So get involved early and stay active. And so if we look at the annual events our office hosts, it's a great opportunity for you to always be involved in these. You can't really avoid the first few. The Bulldog Beginnings and Welcome Events, that includes the Bulldog Bonanza. It's a great opportunity. When you come into campus, there's a large banner that kind of shows that you're a Bulldog now. It's very exciting, acclimating you to campus. Number of things that go on. There's an event called Founders Day where they serve ice cream and there's a barbecue. There's a giveaway for like an iPad this past year. It was excellent. And then there's also events that kind of help you show your educational side. There's keynote speakers they bring on diversity and different issues you might face in college. And then we have other things like Meyer Madness, which is like a Walmart over here that shows you you can get just about anything the night before school starts for almost nothing. It's a great opportunity. There's a lot of vendors there. It's basically a party, and it's a great opportunity to kind of meet and greet with people and maybe meet up with some of your suite mates. Additionally, we have sorority recruitment, Greek life, and so that's your Panhellenic Council that kind of recruits. So girls, if you're interested in joining in Greek life, this is a great opportunity. It's basically a whole 1 or 2 weeks of recruitment, and so they kind of get you all together if you're interested, and then they show you all the different organizations in Greek life you can be a part of. And so it's like the sorting hat of Ferris, and they kind of put you where you think you belong. It's a great opportunity to find like-minded ladies that will really help you and support you as you go on through your journey here at Ferris. And homecoming is just a few weeks later. It's a great opportunity. There's a lot of alumni that come back to Ferris. Some are very prominent. There's a parade that comes downtown Big Rapids here in the community. You can be part of that if you would like to. There's the football game, and then there's the United Way fundraisers, which are always a great opportunity to give back to the community as well. The big event is a service project put on student government by student government, and it's a great opportunity because it recruits about 1,500 to 2,000 students every year in April, and it gives you the opportunity to go rake leaves, paint houses, and really give back to houses and community members that need the help. So it's a great way to give back. There's also the Ferris Fest, which I kind of talked about a little bit earlier, and Entertainment Unlimited events they put on, but it's a great opportunity. There's other annual outdoor concerts like the Fall Festival, which is put on by another student organization, very large, bringing in several bands. And then the wrap up of the end of the year really kind of helps let some seniors know that they're done with the college, but admires those freshmen who've got active as well. It's a Torchbearer Award ceremony. So you can actually get the Torchbearer Award, which means that you kind of represent what it means to be a Bulldog and exemplify the Ferris values in that way. There's also service awards you can get, like the volunteer. If you log 125 hours, which represents our 125th anniversary here at Ferris, you can get the 125 award. There's different awards you can get for just being active on campus or recognized as student leader. So it's a great opportunity. And if you can get involved, you can get one of those awards that really kind of steps up your portfolio or resume. So great opportunities there. And so I encourage all of you to get active and at least go to a couple of these events just once, or go to a couple of student government meetings just to see what it's like, and then decide from there. So I hope to see all of you on the campus in the fall and move from there.
I do have a question about Ferris Fest, and this was kind of brought up before, but are students able to pick the acts that are coming on, or how is that determined who comes in every year for these events that take place in the club?
That's a great question. So Entertainment Unlimited is the one who puts this on, and because they're a student-run organization, students often get to pick what that means. So they'll put out surveys on Facebook and allow you to kind of choose from there. They'll put kind of a genre to base it off. So what genre are we going with? And then they'll pick the top bands. So you guys, what bands did we have last year? We had
Motor City Soundtrack.
Yep, and we had the Crane Wives, which is a local kind of folk music, which is I love that band.
They're good.
And yeah, that was a great turnout last year. Several bands out there, and so yeah, the students choose.
And most of these events are typically free for students to go to, right?
Absolutely. Almost all student events on campus get funding from the university, and so because they're funded by the university, you've already paid for it. So that means that you get to go free. So all these events on campus are free, and unless otherwise stipulated, but I haven't even seen one this year that you've had to pay for. So it's all this stuff is all inclusive. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to come out and enjoy your weekends or your weeknights.
And there's no reason not to go, because if it's free, you might as well go there if you're living on campus or being here on campus. Since we're talking about living on campus, this will be a great transition actually over to Byron to talk about the Office of Housing and Residence Life.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Byron again, here to talk to you about the Office of Housing and Residence Life. Basically, we're just going to talk about your life on campus. Our slogan at the Office of Housing and Residence Life is "Move on, live on, stay on," with the idea that you, as incoming freshmen or transfer students, you move on campus. You live on by embracing the experience and getting involved and really developing as a leader and as a student. And then you stay on because you love it so much. So we hope that you will move on, live on, and stay on. First, what we're going to talk about are your different options. So you as incoming students, you'll be starting off in the traditional residence halls, basically 2 rooms connected by a bathroom, creating your suite. Each double standard room comes fully furnished with bunk beds. That includes the frame as well as the mattresses. Parents or students, you can tell your parents that the mattresses are not the extra long. There's this big rumor out there that Ferris has extra long mattresses. It's not true. So just alert your parents and let them know that they don't have to order the extra long sheets. Also included in the room, the furniture that you receive is 1 6-drawer dresser, 2 wardrobes with hanging space at the top, and then 2 additional drawers at the bottom of those. You'll get 2 desks with shelves that come on the top of those, and 2 chairs. And so that's all the furniture that will be in a standard double room when you move on campus. Our suite style living is a little different. The East Campus suites were built actually a few years ago. They're brand new. They're really cool. I actually had the opportunity to live in those last year. Basically, if you're in a 4-person suite, there are 4 rooms, and you share 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, a living room, and a bar, like eating area, which is really cool. If you're in a double suite style living, you would only have 2 rooms, 1 bathroom, kitchen, that eating area, and your living room. So it's a little different. The apartment style living is pretty much what it sounds like. If you've ever been in an apartment, you could be sharing that with with as many as 4 different roommates in that style living. And we like to think that we have something that's for everyone here on campus. We have our traditional style, our East Campus suites, and our apartment style living. And we like to think that we can fit the need of everyone and provide a safe living environment.
And we did have a question come in. It's about applying for the honors program and when you should apply for it. I see you're retaking the ACT in December, so should you wait until you get those results? I would recommend submitting that application now, just so that you have it in there. It is a separate part of the application process, and if you've already submitted that application, I'd recommend contacting Honors. Their information is on our website. We always, even if you don't necessarily meet the requirements now, but you retake the ACT and maybe you meet the requirements after retaking that ACT, they'll reconsider that at that time. And actually, there's a writing component, so you're not fully in until February when they have you come back onto campus for the Honors Invitational. So you'll actually have to complete that portion as well, where they'll have you complete a writing sample or a writing competition, and then they make that decision at that time. So I recommend submitting that application. Retaking those ACT scores, because there's a lot of benefits to doing that. This goes for all students, even if you're not considering the honors program. If you retake the ACT or SAT, especially if you've only taken it once, statistically you're going to go up the second time around because you're not so nervous about it. You're familiar with the format and style of the test. But it's very beneficial for not only for honors program or for scholarships. If you were awarded a scholarship but maybe found out you're a point away from getting the next scholarship, you can retake that ACT up until you start taking classes here, and we'll consider that for that scholarship opportunity, and as well for your academics, placement into the programs. I know I mentioned general studies and pre-science. A lot of students do get put into those kind of programs because they may not have that math ACT or the English ACT that they need to start their program. this is an opportunity for you to retake that ACT, and then maybe you'll meet those requirements, get placed into that math class that you need to get placed into, or that English class, or whatever it may be that's holding you back to completing your education. So great question, and as I mentioned, retake that ACT or SAT because it's only going to benefit you as your score improves.
Yep, and just to give students a head up, the first day of classes is August 25th, which is a Monday. Right?
Yep.
And so move-in should be that Friday, which would be the 22nd for the general opening. And if you're in honors, your move-in date would be the day before, so August 21st. And also parking, we get a lot of questions about parking. So if you have any questions about that, feel free. But parking, you will register through the Department of Public Safety. If you go into your MyFSU account, click on the University Life tab that will be at the top. And somewhere on the left side should be the Department of Public Safety channel. You'll go into there and register your vehicle after you've registered for housing and receive your location of where you'll be staying. And then after you register your vehicle, you'll be assigned to a certain parking lot. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our themed housing. We basically have these different themed housings to fit the needs of our different students. We have the health and wellness option. We have honors, which is an awesome community. I'm actually the hall director for the honors program. And one of the cool things that we have is our honors mentor program, which few students, incoming students, will be linked within upperclassmen to kind of guide them through the experience and get them acclimated to the honors program and the different requirements and things. We've seen that through these interactions with their mentors that students actually feel really comfortable with just hanging out with their mentors and going to them for questions that they may not feel comfortable going to their RAs about. So that's a really cool thing that we offer in honors. First year experience, I actually had the opportunity to be an RA for the first year experience program for 2 years. It's a great experience that is located in Clark Hall. And basically it's sort of designed to get students acclimated to campus again and to get them involved early on. It's really for the peppy, upbeat, fun crowd who really want to get involved, who just want to go in, really excited about college. And basically in the program, you're expected to attend a certain amount of cultural events, attend a certain amount of sporting events, and show Bulldog Pride. You're expected to do a certain amount of volunteer and community service hours and different things like that, just to continue to grow your skills and abilities. And then our graphic design floor is another specific themed housing that we have geared towards our graphic design students to sort of create an environment for them that they can study easily or have the things that they need to study better. We have a computer lab in this community as well as a study creative lab that's in the basement that allows you to do your different assignments and homework. One of the cool things about being in a themed community is that you have other students who are in the same program as you, and so it's easy to just go to someone for help or one of the upperclassmen who have been through the classes before they can help you out, and that's really cool to have that resource right there in the building. Do we have a question?
We actually have 2 questions. One, I think we kind of touched on with the cars on campus, but I don't know if you mentioned the golden question if freshmen can have cars on campus. That answer is yes, you can have a car on campus. Of course, you want to register your vehicle and do all of the steps necessary to obtain a parking permit because you don't want to try to avoid getting that parking permit because our Department of Public Safety will find you. And you'll have a little yellow envelope on your car that will be a ticket for you to pay. So we really encourage you to get that parking permit up front so you avoid any tickets or fees. I'm assuming they are familiar with tickets?
Yes. Actually, I'm a first.
All right. So you'll want to definitely avoid that situation and get that parking permit starting, I believe, in July is when you can start applying for those. Another question that came up is about how safe and secure the dorm rooms are, because the student has visited other college campuses where the doors in the dorms don't even lock. So if you could kind of touch on the security within our residence halls, that would be excellent.
Definitely. You can actually just go to the next slide, and I think we covered that. No, we'll get to it. But yes, the halls are definitely safe and secure. I can go through a few things I also cover later, but I can go through them now. We have the 24-hour desk services. So we have a desk that's open and operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And basically that's not only so that they can be a support system to the students and kind of creating the environment where they can feel free to go to the desk whenever, but also to keep the area safe and to be monitoring. And the DSAs or desk service assistants, they're required to do certain rounds throughout the night to ensure the safety of the building. We also have RA staff who are in each building who are on duty each night after 7 p.m. Also to ensure the safety of the buildings. They do multiple rounds per night just to check the doors, making sure those are closed, and just check around and making sure the community's safe. We also have DPS services that are just a call away. And actually in the honors community, they're a little closer to DPS, so if something were to go down, then yeah, quick reaction. And just safety and security. Yeah, the halls are fairly safe. We also have our hall access card swipes. All of the residence halls are closed, and you have to live in the building or have card access to the building to enter the building if you don't have an escort. And so that's one of the ways we definitely keep our hall safe and secure. Definitely. Moving on to what's included. The residence halls, one of the things that I loved as a student was, I don't want to call them freebies because you sort of pay for it, but the amount of utilities and amenities and things that you get for practically nothing. Utilities, those are all expenses and things that if you were living off campus, you would have to worry about paying by the month and things like that. But in the residence halls, it's all inclusive. Free cable, free internet, again, the fully furnished rooms, and even at the front desks, we have so many services and items for you all to check out. We have pool tables, we have ping pong tables, air hockey, board games, card games, different things for the students to check out, and it's all free. So sort of free because you have to pay for it. But and if you wanted any other information, please feel free to go to our website, ferris.edu/housing. One of the main questions we get is, what do we bring? What should I bring? We actually have an awesome graphic on our website, ferris.edu/housing. If you go there and click on the frequently asked questions drop down, and then click on the what do I bring, the graphic will pop up on different things that we suggest you bring. One of the main things is definitely an Ethernet cord. Most of our residence halls are equipped with wireless throughout the entire buildings, but we do still suggest that you bring those just in case the Wi-Fi is a little wavy. But it has awesome tips for things to bring like that on that graphic.
Also on the website, I've noticed you guys have videos too of all the different rooms and different things that we have to offer. So if you haven't been able to come up and visit us on campus, feel free to go out and look at that as well to kind of get an idea of what the rooms look like, what you can do, or what is included in each room, and what kind of different styles you can choose from. Looks like we have another question. For the honors program housing, do you have a private room or can you have a roommate?
Well, this is actually something that they are changing this year. Currently, the way that the honors halls are set up is that you automatically get a private room upon being accepted into honors, the option for a private room. Now they're actually opening up that you can actually have a double, and so this will be new in the honors communities. We expect an influx of honors students next year, and so it's kind of a cool way to still have a roommate and be in the honors community, and it's something that we're really excited about next year.
Now, living on campus, is it better to have a roommate or be in a private room, or what are the benefits and drawbacks or are there any drawbacks of going the route of having a roommate?
Well, I think anytime you have a situation where you have to share your living quarters with a stranger, in most cases, it can be something that's not the most welcomed or not the most exciting. But I can be honest and say that I have made lifelong friends through my experiences with my roommates. Not all of my experiences have been the best, but even in those experiences that weren't good, they were still great learning experiences. And that's one of the biggest perks about living on campus, is that you get this real life experience. A lot of times students are sheltered or they haven't really experienced the world, and for most students, them living on campus is their first time really living on their own and becoming that adult that they want to be. And so I think living on campus sort of is that first step into really, really getting that life experience. So,
Excellent.
so staying on campus, I struggled a little bit explaining this a while ago, but we have certain incentives once you hit sophomore status and junior senior status. And I will be short in this explanation. The sophomore incentive, basically imagine it like this. If you have a private room, you get it for the price of a double room. And that's the
Good
best.
job.
That's the best I can do. And with the junior senior incentive, you also get a private room for the same price as a double, but with the here goes the complications. With the sophomore, the rate that you get subtracted is cut in half. That's the best I can do. But we definitely have the information for you on our website, ferris.edu/housing, which can go into better detail than what I can give it and do it justice.
And we did have a question that came in. Is it up to the student if they want a single room or a double in the honors dorm, or does it depend on space?
It definitely, I would say all things depend on space, but primarily all of the residence halls, honors halls are single, but again, we're moving into trialing some double spaces next year, but you will have that option, I guess, if there's those double spaces that are available and they're not completely taken, you would have that option of having a double.
Excellent.
And lastly, the perks of living on campus. Again, there are so many perks that I've experienced personally, and just to cap them again, the convenience. You live on campus, and so you're walking distance from the residence halls, you're walking distance from your professors' offices, from the academic buildings, from the Timmy Center, from the University Center, and so you don't waste money on gas, you don't waste money on travel. And those things are convenient. They're in walking distance and you can easily access them. So that's definitely a big perk. Safety and security, again, we have the staff in all of our buildings. We have the 24-hour desks. We have blue lights that are around the campus that signal to DPS in emergency situations. We have locked residence halls that are card swipe access only. And so safety and security is definitely available in there in the residence halls. The all-inclusive pricing, they actually did a study through our office that shows that it is more expensive to live off campus, and that's because of this reason, the all-inclusive pricing, and not having to worry about the different bills, not having to worry about getting them in on time. But there's some security in just paying one bill and just having it all done for the semester. So that's definitely a perk. The community, this is probably my favorite because my type of personality and the things that I've learned over the past 4.5 years being here at this university definitely can be accounted to the community in which I lived in and the environment that was created in the residence halls. It taught me so much about life. It taught me so much about learning and really what I really truly want to do. And I truly do owe those things to the residence halls and the community that existed there. In academic support, we have our staff who are known for helping students who struggle in academics. Usually if you're in a themed housing or if you're in an area where you have a lot of the same people in the same program, you'll find that they make study groups and they help each other and they become that resource and that support group for each other. And those are just some of the perks that are available in the residence halls that we can talk about today. I see we have a question up here.
Yep. Are the dorms co-ed by dorm or by floor?
They are co-ed. Each residence hall is co-ed by hall. So there is one specific all-female community that we do have that is available we have our international students who for religious purposes need to live with all females, and we do also welcome that to any other students who would like to take advantage of that.
Now, when you're saying co-ed by hall, it's co-ed. So in the same suites, the bedroom, bathroom, bedroom that the traditional room is set up in, that's going to be all female or all male.
Yes,
But then
yes. We
across-
don't mix in the room or in the suites.
But across the hall could be another suite of guys or girls or whatever. So it's co-ed throughout the hall, but your suite you're going to be in with the same gender. So males will be with males, females will be with females within there. Questions? Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but it's very exciting, all the things that we covered and the different opportunities that you have coming up. So you're probably asking, is it fall yet? Unfortunately, it's not. We still have approximately 266 days to go until we get to that start of the fall semester. We want to keep that enthusiasm, keep that excitement going though, so be sure to come onto campus, visit us. If you have any questions at all, contact us. Feel free to use us as a resource to answer all of your questions that you may have. If we weren't able to get any of your questions answered, if you think of something after today, feel free to contact us. That toll-free number is actually a general number to the university, so it's going to get you into our communication center, which they can then contact you to or connect you to the different departments, facilitate those questions to make sure that we're getting you to the right answer to get that question answered, for getting you to the right area to get that question answered for you. I really encourage you, as I mentioned, if you didn't get the opportunity to come onto campus yet, really encourage you to do that, to sign up on our website at www.ferris.edu and then select admissions and then visit campus. It'll give you all those different opportunities for you to come onto campus, check out our departments, check out the services that we have to offer, and see what our campus is like over the course of the next couple months. But thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time, asking the questions, and hearing what we have to say about admissions, about financial aid, CLACs, and housing, and all the different things that are taking place on our campus. We look forward to seeing you at orientation and also seeing you in 266 days from now at the start of the semester. So have a great rest of your year. Enjoy it. It's going to fly by, and make sure you're staying on top of those deadlines and different things. So thanks again, and have a great night.